The Orange Box, a compilation of 3 brand new games and 2 remastered games created by Valve. Valve developed the 360 port but did not develop the PS3 port, citing difficulties with the cell architecture. But they didn't want the PS3 players to miss out on this collection, so Valve handed the keys of porting this game to the PS3 to EA UK. And what did we get from this collection? Well, sit back and relax as we take a look at 5 games for the price of 1. Before we get to the new titles in this collection, let's begin with some old titles, starting with Half-Life 2, a game that has had many ups and downs during its 6-year development cycle, including the source code leaking in 2003. But when it did eventually release in November of 2004, it became a monster of a hit. It has since been called one of the greatest games of all time. Well, hot damn, that's a pretty nice achievement. Let's see if it holds up today, and let's hit new game. Half-Life 2 is a perfect example of so close and yet just so far away. It would be a flawless build if not for a few things. First off, this game's got bugs. But then again, what game doesn't have bugs these days? Even the ones you have to look very hard for. Most bugs are either visual or auditory, like Alex randomly teleporting. I know that teleporting technology does exist in this universe, but I didn't think the technology was this good that you could do it without the need of a machine. Also, do you like your engine of your vehicle to suddenly just go silent? Well, this game just so happens to have something like that. Honestly, it's kind of peaceful. You know, when Gordon isn't being attacked by antlions. While getting attacked by antlions sucks, getting stuck and being unable to move is even worse. In Chapter 13, right after you defeat the only Strider of the chapter, you have this loading zone. If you land near the force field, well... Help! I can't move! Oh god, this is embarrassing. I actually had to reload a previous save to free myself. Let this be a warning to you folks. Don't land anywhere near the force field, or you will literally be unable to move. And that's pretty much it in terms of bugs. Now, how's the frame rate of this game? Oh god. If the PS3 version of this game is infamous for anything, it is severe frame rate issues. It makes certain sections of this game near impossible to play. Now don't get it twisted, the Xbox 360 version is not flawless. It too has performance issues as well. Although the frame drops mostly happen when the game's done loading or when a lot of stuff happens on the screen. But I'll give both versions of the game this, it at least runs better than the original Xbox version of this game. So, that's at least something, right? Oops, never mind, game hard crashed. Give credit to the PS3 version, it never hard crashed on me once. And that's about it for Half-Life 2. Jesus, this game has a lot of content. The final playtime for this game was between 8 to 12 hours. For the record, this is the longest game that I will play for this video. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the next 2 games in this collection. Half-Life Episodes 1 and 2. I'm putting these games together just to save some time here. After the 6-year development of Half-Life 2, Valve decided to switch to an episodic format to shorten the development time. You probably already know that these games was supposed to be a trilogy. It's practically a meme at this point. We might as well cover the episodic games that we did get. So, let's crack some heads and stop the Combine. You know, the Combine are sure well known for making a huge mess. But these two games, very spotless. No game-breaking bugs of any kind to plague either of these games. But the frame rate. Oh god, the frame rate. Like before, the worst of it was on the PlayStation 3, but sometimes the 360 version will just lag for no real reason. Take this elevator shaft in episode 1. Looking down at any point causes both versions to lag like Crysis did at launch. How the hell did Valve miss this? Also, episode 2 froze on me after the helicopter fight. I guess it was a matter of time before the PS3 version decided to crash on me. But that's about it for the issues in terms of the Half-Life games. It is comparatively much cleaner than the main game itself. The playtime for both games is a combined 6 to 8 hours. Shorter than the main game, but still plenty of content to go around. Up next, we have my favorite game in this collection, Portal. Portal originated as a college project called Narbacular Drop. God, am I even saying that right? Valve was very impressed by the game, and hired some of the students who made the game to develop a spiritual successor. After 2 years of development, we got Portal, Valve's first new IP in 4 years. I'm very excited to check this one out. Come on, let's not waste any time and go! Like the episodic Half-Life games, Portal has absolutely no game-breaking bugs or glitches of any kind. The frame rate is also a lot more stable in comparison to the previous games. Then again, some of the game's areas aren't as big as Half-Life's. Despite this, the game still lags. Again, it's at its worst on the PS3 version. Also, there are subtitle errors in this game.
Get Rudy there, playing yourself. Playing into space.
The worst spot where the subtitles are wrong is when the turrets talk. Here, let me show you a little compilation just to prove my point.
Please put me down. Malfunction. No hard feelings. Is anyone there? Who are you? Put me down. Malfunction.
Come on, Valve, this is lazy. Get your shit together. The last problem I have with this game is that it's criminally short. It will only take you an hour or two to beat this game. I love this game to death, but unfortunately it's over way too fast. The only additional modes this game has is challenges for just 6 of the chambers. Well, let's move on to our final game, Team Fortress 2, the only online-focused game in this collection. The original Team Fortress was a mod for Quake. Valve then hired the creators to port this Quake mod into a Half-Life mod, and they retitled it Team Fortress Classic. At the same time, the team began work on a sequel. Team Fortress 2 took 9 years to develop, and it also experienced a change in art style from a realistic style to a cartoonish art style. And what did we get after all of this? Not much. Because this game is online focused, what you can do in this game is extremely limited. In fact, you can't even start the PS3 version at all. Leave it to EA to ruin a pretty decent shooter. But there is one offline mode, System Linked Matches, exclusive to the Xbox 360 version. You can link up some Xbox 360s either by LAN connection or through an Ethernet port. You can play matches locally. Or, you can play matches all by yourself. With no enemies or allies. Or anything that really happens. God, I'm lonely. And that is it for the Orange Box collection. A great collection of 4 1/4 games. If you love Half-Life 2, you owe it to yourself to pick this collection up. I would advise getting the 360 version if you have the choice, but I won't shame you if you decide to pick up the PS3 version, as it is fully beatable. Even if you don't like Half-Life 2, you really should get this collection just to try Portal. Man, Portal was such a good game. I really want more of this game. Oh wait! Portal 2 came about because the team at Valve really wanted to make a sequel to it. So, development started after Portal's initial 2007 release. It released on the Xbox 360 and, to the surprise of everybody, the PlayStation 3. Gabe Newell stated that the reason they wanted to work with Sony was because Microsoft was giving them a hard time about content and patches. What was the result of the game's 4-year development cycle? Well, let's get started with our Portal-filled adventure. One thing I'd like to point out before we actually begin the game proper is that the PS3 version has Steam integration. This actually allows for crossplay with PC users, which I think is actually legitimately a cool thing. I'm surprised more games didn't have this. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, let's start the actual game proper. Valve absolutely nailed it. This game has no bugs or glitches of any kind. As a matter of fact, the Xbox 360 version is flawless. I wish I could say the same for the PS3 version though. Frame rate issues are still very much a thing in this game. But it is a lot more stable compared to the orange box. The frame rate drops mostly happen in the introduction and in the pumping area over halfway into the game. But you want to know what they didn't fix from the first game? The subtitles. The turret subtitles are still wrong like 90% of the time.
Are you still there? Malfunction.
Also, this line is wrong.
Well done. Here come the test results. You are a horrible person. That's what it says. A horrible person. We weren't even testing for that.
Come on, guys. You can do better than this. At least the game is slightly longer than the original Portal. It took me between 3 to 5 hours to beat the game. It's still very short, though. But, luckily for us, that isn't the only campaign. There's also the co-op campaign. If I could actually test it. Yeah, I'm operating solo, so I can't test it, and unfortunately playing online on either version is out of the question. Although, there is a split screen option, so there is an option for those who want to play offline. From what I was able to gather, you and your buddy go through 40 levels of tests, and the fact that it will take about the same amount of time as the single player campaign, about 3 to 5 hours. And that is it for Portal 2. It might have a few problems, but this game still kicks ass! The content for this game might be lacking if you're playing solo, but honestly, this campaign is so fun that I'm willing to look past it. Although, if you can get a buddy to play the co-op campaign, you will get the full package, totaling between 6 to 10 hours of content. Honestly, I think it goes without saying, but you need to pick up Portal 2 if you can. You will not regret it.